Good evening and welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday night. My microphone is in the camera picture now, which is nice. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined as always by my good friends and co-hosts and partners in crime, Kyle Defina with a monsters
Morning,
background,
morning. Why not?
and I don't know because I don't know. We'll talk about it in a second. And Jerry Kamora of the band Slapjaw. How you doing?
Hola,
I
¿cómo
hear
está?
the number one band in all of northeastern Pennsylvania. If that's true, is that true?
Only on Sunday.
Only on Sundays. Okay. When you say the Munsters, I always viewed the Munsters as like inferior to the Adams. Like the Munsters was the knockoff show. It was like the Timu show.
I actually like the Munsters better, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't mind the
better,
Adams
too.
Family, but
I mean, the Munsters had Grandpa Munster. They had, Al Lewis, who was pretty great. And did a lot of cool things. Good evening, Joe Ridgely. How are you doing?
I think Eddie's better than Pugsley.
I don't know. Eddie's weird. I don't know. I don't think Eddie's better than Pugsley, and Marilyn is certainly not better than Wednesday. And Lily is not better than Morticia.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
You think Lily's better than Morticia, Adam?
I mean, Peter Steele ain't saying Morticia ain't got nothing on you. It's Lily Munster ain't got nothing on you.
Yeah, but I don't know. The one
Pop
And
culture wise,
Elvira's
I
better
think
than
the
both of them.
Munsters.
is Grandpa better than Uncle Fester? Like if you went, you could do a range of things where you go Munsters versus Adams, and if you put in all the different members of the family, I think it sways.
the car was better.
Yeah, the Munsters car was better, I guess, but okay, let's go through. Let's go through everything. We'll go through weird things. We'll do everything. Are you taking Herman Munster or are you taking Gomez? Herman's an idiot.
Yeah, but he's a fun idiot.
Yeah, but he's an idiot. Gomez is
Gomez
like
is
It
John
all
Astin.
depends on the mood you're looking for, right?
Okay, well
I mean, if you're looking for slapsticky, obviously it's the Munsters, right? I mean, like Airplane.
Okay.
I think we need to fact check that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Okay, wait. Okay, so we're doing Herman versus Gomez. I'm taking Gomez. Gomez knows how
I'm
to
taking
dance.
Herman.
Gomez knows how to dance and he knows how to fence. Okay. Morticia, are you taking Lily Munster or Morticia?
Taking Lily Munster.
I'm taking Morticia. You know what I mean? And then, like, we haven't even gotten
Who has more pop culture references, though?
the Addams Family.
I think the Munsters.
The Addams Family has two major films that were made in the 90s. The Munsters has a fucking Rob Zombie movie that was made and is complete and utter trash.
I thought that was one of his best Rob Zombie movies.
Lily's better looking.
Still trash.
Lily it is.
You're taking Lily. Okay, wait. Then you get to Grandpa versus Fester. I'll take Grandpa there. So you're 2-1 Munsters. Once you get to Maryland versus Wednesday, it all shifts. Wednesday's way more popular than Maryland. I would argue that Wednesday is the pop culture thing that settles this. Because
Well, I guess Lurch is a really good character too.
Lurch is a fantastic character and could beat Herman. And then you do Eddie Munster versus Pugsley.
Pugsley.
Okay, but Wednesday beats everybody. Wednesday's the better
which Wednesday?
Any Wednesday.
Any
Jenna Ortega Wednesday. Christina Ricci Wednesday.
any given Wednesday.
Any given Wednesday wins this fucking battle. And Wednesday is I would argue that Addams Family is more pop culture because of the 90s movies. And also because which
But
which
I hear
show
more
has
Munsters
I
references.
met the original Wednesday.
Okay, wait. Let's go with side things that are living in the house. I'll take Cousin It and I'll take the hand over anything.
I bet you would.
I would. I'll give you an example. Can you go
That was
into
perfect.
Can you go into any store today and get a motorized anything from the Munsters? You can
Depends
walk
on
into Walmart. You can walk into Walmart right now and get a motorized hand that you can travel down the highways.
But they don't call a cousin it.
But it doesn't. What I'm saying to you is that you're saying
I have a Frankenstein doll here.
Which is more pop culturally relevant? It's not the Munsters. The Addams Family beats the Munsters. Two hit movies, plus a hit.
I don't know
TV
about hit movies.
You don't think the Addams Family movies were hits?
The first one, yes. Second one,
Okay,
I mean, they were too legit to quit.
Let's talk about this. What do you think the Addams Family movies grossed?
Oh God, what years did they come out?
91.
That long ago?
91 was the first.
I was going to say
Plural,
like 2005. Wow.
Addams Family 1. How much did it gross?
103.
Okay, it grossed far more than 103. But wait, I'm getting the numbers. Give me a second. But not far more. It did. First Addams Family grossed 113. Then also there's two Addams Family cartoon movies that have come out recently. Addams Family, the original movie in 91, grossed 191 worldwide gross. And then if
you know how bad the Addams Family is, they had to make a musical to try and save it, and that didn't help.
The adjusted box office, the inflation adjusted box office for the original Addams Family is $305 million. It grossed 191 million worldwide. Then
that's considered a flop if it's a Disney movie.
It's not a Disney movie. It's a Paramount movie. It's a Paramount movie. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So I'd like to think I have a sense of humor. But 113 for the original Addams Family. Then the cartoon movie in 2019 grossed 97 with a $200 million worldwide gross. And then the one in 2021, which came out pre-pandemic or middle pandemic, Addams Family 2 grossed 56 million with a 119 million worldwide gross. So let's do Addams Family values and see where we're at, because that was the second movie, and you said it grossed that
much. I think it grossed that much, but I didn't think it was a good movie.
Oh, okay, but I'm just saying.
There's a lot of movies that make a shit ton of money that just really suck.
But I wouldn't say. But the Addams Family. You said the Addams Family is more popular pop culture, right? That was your.
No,
that was
the
your,
Munsters was.
The Munsters domestic gross. Ready? Nothing, because it didn't get a release, and it's DVD and Blu-ray sales. It's grossed $1 million.
A cool mill.
1 million, $1.4 million for the Rob Zombie Munsters. So which one is the more popular pop culture?
Well, it's because he did it. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is we've had two Addams Family movies in the 90s. We've had two Addams Family animated movies from 2019 to 2021. We've had Wednesday, the show, right?
He's freezing.
I'm not freezing. I'm moving back and forth. Is there
Jerry, you see it, right?
Is there anything that suggests that the Munsters is more popular than the Addams Family?
Oh, when you go to the Roku channel, they have a Munsters channel there that's continuously running Munster shows. I don't see an Addams Family one.
Because they don't need to. Like the Addams Family, I think it's preposterous that you think the Munsters is more popular than the Addams Family. I think it's crazy.
Need more Munster stuff out there to compare.
Well, you would actually need Munster stuff made and Munster stuff.
Yeah.
You would
Like
Not by Rob Zombie.
like a really good take on it, though.
yeah, you need an actual movie or a television show or something else that's been done. Even Addams Family has Wednesday to fall back on. Wednesday is one of the biggest shows in the history of Netflix. Jenna Ortega playing Wednesday is one of the more popular things going on right now. So the Munsters isn't even close. You agree, right? I mean, I'm not crazy here. Let's pass it to the comments. Anybody? What's more pop culture or relevant?
Missy and Jamie got you with the Addams Family. They're both agreeing with you.
Okay.
For me though, I'd rather watch the Munsters.
Well, no, I'm not saying what you'd rather watch. I'm just saying what's more pop culturally relevant right now.
I hear more Munster references though in different things between Herman Munster, Lily Munster, referencing Grandpa than I do. You
hear more references than Jenna Ortega playing Wednesday on Netflix.
It's
the most.
I don't hear many people bring that up in comparisons.
Okay, I'm just a Tim Burton Wednesday show is not a pop culturally relevant thing. I'm just asking. I'm if you think the Munsters is more more relevant to pop culture, cool. I just think the Addams Family.
But other shows, when other shows reference an older show like that, though, which one do they normally reference that you've heard?
Addams Family, because Addams Family is the one that's out right now. Addams Family is the one that's remained relevant. 90s, and then the cartoon in 2019, and then fucking Wednesday is.
See, I think they don't get as much recognition because they've had so many. Where when someone references a Herman Munster or you're a flathead like Herman, or
people are saying that to you in public.
No, I mean in TV shows and in like when they reference things.
I'm going to start saying that now. You're a flathead like her.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that to people.
Go for it, Jerry. I'd love to see it.
I would say you're a flathead for thinking the Addams Family isn't more popular. Also, the musical doesn't hurt the Addams Family. The musical helps the Addams Family. Hi, Jamie. How you doing? Because again, you don't see a Munsters musical.
Well, because Herman don't dance.
Well, and also nobody wants to see it. I think the show is great. I think Fred Gwynn as Herman is fantastic, and Al Lewis is. I think
he was better in Car 54. Where are you? But.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is the one has lapped the other one totally in pop culture, and it didn't help that the pop culture chants that.
Which came out first?
Do you think?
That's a great question. I think the Addams Family. But let's
was it the Addams Family?
Let's check.
Jerry, you're deep in thought with something here. What do you think?
I'm just thinking it's probably very hard to replicate Fred Gwynn in that role.
I think that's true.
Like
I think that's fair. What if I told you they came out the same year?
Really?
Wow.
1964.
I mean, Rob Zombie's wife did great as Herman Munster.
Shut the fuck up. Rob Zombie's wife was great as nothing.
She's going to be Jaws in the remake that he makes.
Munster, September 1964 to May 1966. So that's the running date. Let's check.
It was only 2 years, huh?
Only 2 years. And
Everybody
again, I
must be frozen.
Who's frozen? What do you mean?
I know.
The Addams Family ran from September 1964 to April 1966. So they were on top of each other, and they both ran the exact same amount of time. That's hilarious.
And they were all the same actors. We just don't know.
No, but this kind of makes Hollywood sense, right? Like Volcano and Dante's Peak, and day after, you know what I mean?
Armageddon, Deep Impact.
Yes.
We had the disaster era, and then we had the Leviathan, Deep Star 6, The Abyss.
Then the vampire era, then the
Don't forget
Wolfer.
Deep Rising.
Deep Rising, yes.
Deep Rising was that same summer too.
Yep,
So,
it
yeah,
was.
I mean that makes sense. But I think the Addams Family is more. I don't know. The Addams Family is more referenced and more.
It's out there more.
It's more used.
It is.
And it's more popular. Frankly, like again, the musical, you used it as a like, oh, they had to do a musical or whatever. But in reality,
Well, you know my feelings on musicals, so that was the joke.
But the musical gives it more relevance. The fact that they couldn't even do a Munster.
I don't hear a lot of Morticia references though. I hear more Lily Munster references. You don't hear Gomez references. I hear more, like Herman Munster.
But I hear the one I hear more than any of them is Wednesday. Christina Ricci is Wednesday, or Jenna Ortega is Wednesday. I mean, she has the whole fucking section at Hot Topic, right? You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea absolutely what you're talking about. But seeing as Kyle says the monsters behind him, I'm guessing we're talking Monsters and Family, of which I'm a huge fan of both. However, me and Randy always had a debate going on which one was better. That's exactly what we're discussing. But Kyle made the reference that the Munsters is more pop culturally relevant than the Addams Family, is what was said.
I just said that they get referenced more in TV shows and
I said that's insane because we've had too much.
You're like everyone just talks about Jenna Ortega.
No, I'm not.
And her taco shells.
Everybody talks about Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. One of the most popular shows on Netflix. And they had better cars. The Addams Family because it's based on art illustration and has more already stuff on it, so then better actually like them both. We like them both. Yeah, no. I think we do like them both, but I think the Addams Family is the one that's stuck. You know what I mean? And the Addams Family has everything.
Forbes estimated Gomez Addams was worth $2 billion.
That's about right.
The Munsters were working class.
Super rich. Oh,
well, it wasn't I'm always a working class hero, baby.
Some was Fester's money. Okay. Addams was the first show with married couple sleeping in the same bed. Ooh. That's an interesting. I do believe you get referenced more, but they may not have as much as full reference. I think he's kind of what he's really saying. Okay, and more yes,
franchise.
More lore.
That family has more of a franchise, but
I think it's more of a franchise and has more lore, and it has all the original Addams drawings, as well as all the other stuff. Plus the monster Spot. I don't think Spot's better than Cousin It. I don't know. I don't think Spot's better than Cousin It. Anyway. What a way to start a show. Munsters versus Addams. What wins?
And it's not even Halloween time.
Who knew?
And then Elvira beats them all.
All I do know is that whatever chance the Munsters had to be relevant has been stripped away in any way because Rob Zombie found them and destroyed them and ate their souls and made a horror movie with his wife. So anyway, that was a good fun debate to start the show. Actually, there's some other things to talk about that are kind of cool, relevant for this week. We're in a holiday week. We're also in a big movie week, although
we're in WrestleMania week.
We are in WrestleMania week as well. The box office is interesting right now. Minecraft had another big weekend at the box office. It's now the largest grossing movie this year, which is we're not can we look at things that are more reverent? So anything you want to talk about anything? We're not acknowledging Rob Zombie tonight. Can we look at things that are more reverent?
I watched Paint Dry, and it was better than a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Paint Dry, or I watched a crude child's drawing of Michael Myers that was better than his Halloween movie. 420 is Sunday, yes. What was the Careful, JW? I didn't get to read that one.
Oh, it's just the normal Careful. You know what happens when you mention zombie 3 times.
Yeah, I know. He shows up at my door and demands we make a movie.
No, someone who had a birthday this week that you wish to happy birthday to shows up in the chat and yells at you.
I could care less. I could care less. They can yell at me about Rob Zombie. We're never going to agree on this. He makes shitty movies.
Yeah,
Great
I
music,
can't
shitty
disagree with
movies.
that. White Zombie was good, but other than that,
He makes fun music, and he should stick to the music.
you should have
He
stuck
was
with
good
White
as
Zombie.
As a movie
was
director, he's
good
an
with set
excellent musician.
design on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, but oh god, that makes me hate Pee Wee's Playhouse just a little bit.
Anyway,
don't ruin Pee Wee's Playhouse on me. Cousin It isn't a pet. Adams had Kitty Cat, a vulture, and Cleopatra. Thank you, Jasper, for being way more into this discussion than any of the three of us are. But anyway, moving on. A good debate to start the show. Let's see. What else we got going on?
you were talking about grossing this week.
Oh yeah, the grosses. Minecraft movie,
It was
another $78 million. It's now at 283 domestic, $557 million worldwide. That's right, over $500 million for the Minecraft movie, which is not something anybody thought. That is an honest fact. I suppose the other one about Fester hanging a man isn't. That was earlier for people who are just coming in now. But this movie here is done wonders, and I think we actually have to announce, like, ring a bell and announce they may have found a way to make video game movies. Last 5 have done very well. So that streak with Hollywood is over. We're now in a place where we're going to make video game movies that are good. I think they're remaking Resident Evil. They're going to try to remake it more game-like. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the Resident. I liked the first Resident Evil movie, but then when we got all the way up to 6, not my cup of tea. Although I like Mila Jovovich, I think she makes fun movies. Also, if you have Amazon this week, I highly recommend this movie. It's called G20. It is on Amazon. It is an action movie. It is very much in the Air Force One kind of thing. It has the Anthony Starr. Let's say Anthony Starr. Yeah, Anthony Starr. From The Boys, who plays Homelander. He plays like a guy that he plays basically the bad guy role to her president attending the G20 summit, and basically takes everybody hostage. And she's a former soldier who's become president. Like every president in every American action movie that has a president in it, they were all soldiers first. So it has a White House down feel to it. It has Air Force One, although I don't think it's as good as Air Force One.
Olympus has fallen.
Yeah, the White House Down movies are pretty good. And the Olympus.
They're both the same, right? That one and Olympus has fallen, same movie.
But basically, he plays like a special forces guy that basically is gonna tank the global markets, which maybe the reason this movie is it's hitting a little too close to home. Basically, he's going to tank all the global markets by insinuating that the G20 summit is basically selling people out, and by creating deep fakes with all the leaders. And it's very intricate, but it's a cool plot. And Viola Davis is a really good president. I liked it. Anthony Anderson plays the first husband, and Clark Gregg from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers plays the vice president. Good action sequences, pretty well done. They use the Beast, which is the car the president drives. With Minecraft, are they damaging theaters? Okay, so yeah, they're the Minecraft getting off of G20 for a second. Well, there is a lot of hype about the theater damage because they actually had to shoot a promo. There was a promo shot for most theaters that are running before the movie that are by the filmmakers of Minecraft, not to do anything like throwing popcorn or destroying theaters. It's mostly teenage boys that are doing it. So they did shoot a promo that is in front of it. Also, Jack Black has been going around theaters around the country and showing up beforehand and telling people not to go crazy. Yeah, kids are throwing popcorn, but it's been more than that. A lot of them, there was other things. There's like puking on cue with one of the scenes. When the sheep throws up, everybody throws up.
Come on.
Like, yeah,
I saw this on Beyond the Mat. He's gonna.
Yeah, it's just it's been a lot of stuff, but they actually did promos for it. They actually a few instances police were called for teens that were a little bit older than 17. Well, actually, Jack Black was going in telling him not to do stuff, but he did go into several theaters where he was, no chicken jockeys, nothing like that. Sumura wasn't as good without the accent. Yeah, but it grossed over $1 billion, so nobody. That went right out. Can we actually look at how video games have been bad in the past? The movie made 3 times before this movie came out. Well, let me read that again. Put that back up. I want to read that again. Can we actually look at how video games movies have been bad in the past, but this specific movie has been made 3 times before this movie came out? Okay, I think you're saying there's a pattern to them, and one thing Hollywood knows to do well, and we've talked about it on the show, if they get a pattern, they stick to the pattern. But in this particular case, one of the I don't know that it's a pattern as much as finding unique directors that understand the properties, and then putting the directors with property. Jared Hess is a perfect director. He made Nacho Libre. He made Napoleon Dynamite. He's made a bunch of weird movies, and it works perfectly with this cast in this movie. So I don't know that there's a pattern. I just think that maybe Hollywood has come up. What? What do we do now?
Oh,
Monsters or Addams? Monsters or Addams?
Monsters or Addams Family.
You guys were dissing Rob Zombie all the hell about the Adam or
yeah, because
the
he
Monsters.
Sucks. He's terrible.
Yeah,
but
I don't care if we have friends. The movie sucks.
We have friends.
I know we have friends, but the movie
and
sucks.
the only saving grace was Grandpa.
Sure, but the movie sucks.
It was the best Rob Zombie movie out of the bunch, though. I mean, so what? The bar is below ground, but still.
I would argue the bar is middle ground, like in the middle of the earth.
No,
like
it's buried.
Yeah, under
Happy
like
420, Raven.
The middle of the earth. Joe, by the way, you can't come on and go happy 420 and then go, I don't get high that often. And,
I don't.
And you're like, I don't get high that often. 420.
She's the one who said happy holidays.
I know.
So
I know.
Yeah, man, we're starting early this year.
He's so stoned, he's trying to like tap the comment to bring it up.
Well, that would be like JW not getting the hand reference earlier.
Yeah, I got the hand reference. I understand. I'm okay with it.
He wants the hand every chance he gets, he said.
I'll take the hand every time. I'm a married man. That's how it is.
But I'm not allowed to say certain things without getting cut off on his show. Okay.
Whoever cuts you off on our show.
What's happening, Missy?
We're tiptoeing the line. I didn't say it.
Certain subject. Happy holiday, Joe. Happy holiday, Missy.
This is taking on a creepy thing.
I'm going to come over to Kyle's house for some edibles, apparently.
Maybe. That's a long trip for some edibles.
Not happening here.
You can get as much stuff as you want in Florida. Woolite commercial. Oof. I'll never buy Woolite again. Anyway.
Daniel Roebuck was a fun character in the movie, though.
Yes, he was fine. He was okay. But the movie's terrible. Like the Herman.
Mentioned that.
Like
no.
Yeah, dude, I really miss
somebody's got a mind going. Dirty mind.
Hey, all I did was go, and
yeah,
then he spoke about He's been
Yeah,
married
wait a
for
second,
however
wait a
many
second.
years.
Yeah,
And
a couple things. I wasn't talking about
Yeah.
a hand job at all.
to
Anyway,
the
moving on.
household that's allergic to pot? Really?
Melissa is allergic to pot.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, that happens. Okay.
Even the kind you cook in,
All
or
right, I'll go to Raven's house.
That's fine.
I'm gonna make a video.
Raven,
just
you're
JW.
invited on anytime you want to come on and talk about things. If you want to come on next Tuesday to talk about your 420 activities, we can certainly do that. I don't know. We're moving on.
Moving on.
What comes after hand jobs, JW?
What?
Is that second or third base?
Why not? Well, let's go. Let's talk Easter movies.
Easter movies after hand jobs?
Perfect. Easter films.
Easter.
Good
What do
job. Good. That's a great transition.
What do we want in our Easter basket?
Talk-
KY.
Well, you could have KY, or you could have Jeffrey Hunter at King of Kings. You could also.
What the fuck is that?
That's Jeffrey Hunter as Jesus. It's a movie.
Like
No,
a crow
seriously.
mag.
Call it King of Kings. It's a great movie.
Is that one of those Japanese models that you get for cheap online?
No,
Timu?
it's
Guy
Jeffrey Hunter.
belongs in a Geico commercial. You kidding?
I'm probably the person who needs pop, but I'm allergic to it.
Who gives a better hand job, Marilyn or Thing?
I feel like Marilyn would be
Why do you
dead.
have to choose?
I feel like Marilyn would be dead inside.
Both
Just saying.
strangers, regardless.
I don't know. I think the Thing would be a little more stranger danger. You don't know where that hand's been.
Yeah, especially since it walks on the ground.
It is a busy hand. I would say.
Especially after it walks out of the bathroom.
It's probably a stronger hand, though.
Imagine him walking in a strip club.
Positives and negatives. I don't know. How do you bring it back from this? Are there many movies about video games? Yeah, there are.
Lots.
There are tons.
But
And,
Super Mario Brothers did amazing. What, last year?
2 years ago.
Happy Easter hand jobs.
Wow, way to get
All
off
right.
the rails.
There we go. I didn't go off the rails. I'm trying to get back.
You're the one who brought it up, brother.
I did not bring it up. Kyle
You're the
brought
only
it
one
up.
who said hand job.
I did.
You said
You
I've
just
been
said
married
it.
so long.
You
I'll take
just
what I-
said it.
Well, I mean, initially, you're the one who
Oh,
first used the
God.
word.
How about this sweet
So-
baby Jesus? Okay. Video game
So bring up
movies.
that picture of Jesus again. What the
That's-
hell is that?
That's Jeffrey Hunter as Jesus. It's a
He looks like
sad
a cross of, like,
Jesus is so easy, even a caveman can do it.
I was going to say a caveman in Planet of the Apes. What the hell was that?
Right?
It's actually a very famous.
And do they realize Jesus wasn't white?
Does anybody realize that? Are you saying that out loud?
No,
Does
but
that-
you can say this out loud.
Jesus
I-
was resurrected. He stood at attention.
I had nothing to do with that. Again, I'm not trying to take it off the rails. I'm trying to do good
Jesus
things.
had an
here.
amazing
Jesus
goatee.
Christ, superstar. Christ.
Things are snowballing. And yes, if you watch Clerks, you know what that means.
Wow. So you took it right back to the gutter.
But
I don't think we're getting out of the gutter.
Hey, is Night of the
Hey, it's a
Leapers an Easter movie?
No,
it's
but
the
it's
first
like
time
it's
I've
about
bitten a
rabbits.
3XL shirt in like 2 years.
Congratulations. That's a very
Well,
big
thank you.
deal. I'm down to 4. I'm down to 4X now.
I'm just trying to
Nice.
keep up with the comments here.
What about snowballing?
Jesus Christ. I'm trying to find a better picture of Jeffrey Hunter as Christ. So you guys can get off of it.
And that's a live action movie?
So
Why?
after,
Who asked for
after
that?
the hand comes getting off of it, got it.
It's actually one of the best films
I see
Hollywood's
mass
ever
cars
made.
with a blonde Jesus.
Hollywood's ever made about Christ. Hold on. Better picture. Better picture? Yeah. He doesn't look too bad. Looks bad in the
No,
first.
he looks right there. He's like, get to the chopper.
Yeah, if you take
Schwarzenegger
the
didn't
hair
have-
away, kind of, right?
Yeah, Schwarzenegger didn't have the.
I-
he didn't
I
have
thought it
any
was
hair.
the guy from Nickelback after he straightened his hair.
But yeah, King of
Wow,
Kings is actually
Nickelback.
King of
That
Kings
one
is
there
actually
looked like history of the world almost.
37. Jesus was 30, 37 in a row?
Hey, get back here.
yeah, King of
Oh,
Kings is actually
jeez.
yeah. We've lost it, and I'm just gonna let you guys keep going, because it
Feeling
makes
like
for
a
a great
hoarder.
show. But yeah, this is actually the movie, and this is a much better. It's a movie called King of Kings. It was made in the '60s.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually very famous. Released in 1964. It's basically one of the better Christ movies
So
ever
famous,
made.
I've never heard of it. Except for last night's show.
Okay, how about this? Let's try different Easter movies because we're doing Easter films, right?
Night of the
I
Lepus.
was trying to do Easter film. Let's go.
The
Put it
Bunny
back
Man
in.
Massacre.
The Bunny
Yeah, I
Man
was gonna
Massacre.
say, what Easter are there Easter horror films?
Yes.
Like what?
Rotten Tail.
Rotten Tail.
The Bunny Man Massacre.
It wasn't in the 90s. There was no
Raven
movie.
likes
No,
that
they're
one.
all newer. They're newer.
Damn it! Somebody put
okay, how
cranberry
about
juice
this-
in my vodka.
How about this one for an Easter movie? This is an easy one.
The
Ten
10 Commandments.
It'll
I
be on
bring
any-
you 15 commandments.
15 commandments.
10 commandments.
Also, Ben Hur is considered an Easter movie with Charlton Heston. And then the last one I picked just to have him out there, Easter Parade with Judy Garland and Fred Astaire, one of the great
In Technicolor.
in Technicolor, yeah. Technicolor is a real big deal when it first came out.
Judy Garland after the Munchkins.
Judy Garland actually had a pretty good career even after the Munchkins.
Well, yeah, she was high on asbestos and shit.
Asbestos? Was she high on asbestos? I would have.
No, what was the snow made out of in The
As-
Wizard of Oz? Wasn't it asbestos?
I don't think it was asbestos.
I think it was. I think you may want to look. It was on
Yes,
one of those
Critters 2. Yes.
dark Hollywood story things. The snow was
No, and
actually.
I'm looking up so much fun stuff today. At least that we're not talking about other things. Anyway, let me see. Snow and Wizard of Oz. Was the snow in the Wizard of Oz made of asbestos? Snopes. Ready?
When I was a kid, I had an extremely high fever.
May actually be
dream that the
true.
Easter Bunny was trying to kill me. So I'm not a big Easter fan. I told him the Easter Bunny at the Menlo Park Mall was better.
Is Critters
Okay,
2?
so it says, I'm reading Snopes, and what it says is, although a great many sources have casually reported that asbestos was used as snow in the Wizard of Oz, however, and it's almost certainly true, we have yet to locate a source that provides enough detail to allow us to confidently rate this claim as true. Life magazine, however, reported that The Wizard of Oz is hardly unique as a blockbuster film that allegedly exposed its stars to asbestos. It's a Wonderful Life was confirmed to have asbestos on the set as a stand-in for snow. So not The Wizard of Oz, but It's a Wonderful Life definitely had asbestos. Good job, Joe.
Can you guys make snow? Well, we'll try as best as we can. All right, we'll go get some.
See, I get confused
No,
with the
that's
snow
not
down
right.
here in Florida.
Yeah. We did snow with the kids this year. We had a little ice machine that were like blowing snow into the air.
Cool.
Informa.
Okay,
I'm
so
still trying to figure out if a licky boom boom down is a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's okay. It's part of two things of the song. So I think it's fine. So if you like these conversations about Christ and all these other things, by all means,
Great segue.
yeah, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You too can join us for a live chat every week to
Wait for
chime in on Monsters or Atoms.
It could devolve from monsters
So
and
when
atoms to
you make your clips later, it's
family
going to
do
be
fun things.
your clips later are going to consist of hand jobs, 420, and asbestos.
And
And a
why
picture of
does
Jesus
Jesus
looking like a
forgot-
caveman.
Yeah, you forgot Jesus in the Geico commercial. Anyway,
Dark
milk
chocolate,
chocolate
definitely
or
the original chocolate.
milk,
Dark chocolate.
Dark
It actually-
chocolate, the original chocolate. Oh,
white chocolate.
white chocolate isn't chocolate. Get out of here with that nonsense.
It's fine. That's why it's delicious. I'm a white chocolate
I
person.
used to have respect for you.
You had
Depends on the day for me. With that.
Kyle. You guys rock.
Sundays.
Thanks, Lizzie Kitty Merricks.
Who's Lizzie Kitty Merricks?
She's new.
Cool name.
Okay. What else can we chit chat about before we get to important stuff like Twilight Zone or
So would Mallrats be an Easter movie then, since they beat up the Easter Bunny at the mall?
Okay.
no? Because you can't do a thing where you're. Are you trying to have like a Die Hard conversation? Like that's the question. Are you like, if the Easter Bunny's in it, does it make it an Easter movie? Is that where you're going?
It's Easter time, though. Wouldn't it be?
Jackie Coogan participating in a lynching for the second time has made it onto our show. I don't know where we're going this week. How about this, Jerry? Let's talk about this.
Wait.
White
JW,
chocolate
there you go.
has no chocolate in it. It's not chocolate.
I don't.
Well,
care.
that's true, but
I like
it
white
tastes
chocolate.
good just the same.
Also,
Dark
depending,
chocolate is the chocolate of the gods.
depending on what white chocolate you get, it can have chocolate in it. If it's a Lindt chocolate or a good chocolate, it
So
does
your
have
perfect night is just white chocolate in any hand.
chocolate. You brought it right back. That's
Melts in your mouth,
perfect.
not your head.
Well, does it? So Minecraft movie is still going to be #1 next week. We're talking about box office. Thank you. We appreciate the shout out. We appreciate it.
Oh, she got a shout out. She's happy she got one.
She got the shout
I'm
out.
happy to shout out for her. Minecraft's still going to be #1 next week, but it will have a challenger on Easter weekend where movies are known to sometimes go against type. And this is the movie that's opening this weekend. A movie called Sinners. I'll take it, Raven. Absolutely. Sinners is opening this weekend. Ryan Coogler, Black Panther, Creed, Fruitvale Station, starring Michael B. Jordan in dual roles. It's going to be big. We don't know how big it's going to be. It's tracking at about 40 million, but I think it's going to go higher. It is a $90 million vampire horror film. So it is an expensive horror film. But it is tracking better right now than both Alien Romulus and Mickey 17, which is good. And
this is an actual horror movie. It's not
Yes.
like Vampire in Brooklyn or something.
no, it's legit vampire movie. It's scary. It's supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be fun, gory.
You got tickets for Thursday?
I have tickets for Thursday night at 6. So yes, I will be having a review up by Friday. So
Sweet.
that will definitely be happening this week. But it's already tracking on Rotten Tomatoes for over 40 reviews. It's at 100%.
Wow.
They're basically saying it's one of the great genre movies ever made and one of the best actual big budget studio horror films ever made.
Hey,
No
if they
Pong.
can make Battleship, they can make, Pong.
Sinners, what should have been Blade, stupid idiot MCU Disney executive. It was never supposed to be Blade. He pushed it. He pushed the movie he pushed back was not Blade. It was Ryan Coogler pushed back Black Panther 3 to make Sinners. It was never supposed to be Blade, and there were, Blade is probably never going to get made at this point. The remake, we might see him, but he's not probably going to get his own movie. Hop is a great Easter movie. Thanks, Mark Linder.
Hey,
the bunny,
Mark. Mark's
bunny-
awesome.
The bunny poops jelly beans. Yes, those are funny Easter movies. But I was thinking,
God, I
since
saw
we have
that movie so many times.
we have Sinners coming out this week, I was thinking, Jerry, let's talk. Saw Mickey 17 this weekend. So good. I liked it very much. Mickey 17 is a really good movie. Fantastically well, funny movie. Pattinson's great in it. I was thinking of fun vampire movies, Jerry, like 5 vampire movies that we could chit chat about, or 5 vampire movies that we really like that are in like Sinners, right? So it's not Nosferatu or Dracula, right, where they're making old timey vampire movies. Sinners is a vampire movie set in post World War II Louisiana, right? So I was trying to think of vampire movies that are fun vampire movies that people might not have seen or have seen that people really love.
Ooh, what about the one with Ethan Hawke?
What's that? Daywalkers? Is that one?
I think so. Yeah.
Daywalkers. Okay. You're not thinking of 30 Days a Night, are you? Because that's not Ethan Hawke.
No.
Okay.
Daywalkers is the one with the serum where they can walk in the
serum where they can walk in the daytime.
I think it had
or vampires. John Carpenter's vampires.
John Carpenter's vampires. Vampire in Brooklyn's fun. I was thinking of this one, Jerry, but it's got to be the Swedish version called Let the Right One In. It's a fantastic vampire movie.
What about Vampiros Lesbos?
That would go along with the hand comments for earlier.
Remember that one?
Yeah,
I had that here somewhere.
Ultraviolet's not bad. It's one of those like actiony vampire movies, like Underworld ish. What's the one that I thought you would mention, Jerry, right off the top of your head?
Near Dark.
Yeah, Near Dark.
I never got through that whole movie.
What?
I love that movie.
I found it boring.
Oof.
I found some of the characters annoying, especially the teenage boy.
The kid.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, when we make a comment like that, Joe chimes in and was like, well, you know that one person was actually on the show back in 1842.
It was 1843, but that's beside the point.
Only Lovers Left Alive is great. Tom Hiddleston, a great one. Love at First Bite, My Best Friend is a Vampire, Salem's Lot TV. Love at First Bite is underrated. That's a great George Hamilton comedy.
What was the Jim Carrey one?
How about Innocent Blood?
Innocent Blood's a fun one.
Oh, yeah, the one with the gangsters. That was amazing.
Robert Loggia, yeah.
Yeah, with the freaking glowing eyes and shit. That was good stuff.
The Hunger's good, too.
Okay, so can I say something about this one or no?
What do you want to say?
Never mind, I don't like your tone.
Say it!
Say it! Say it!
Say it!
All right, so we've had Tom Holland on,
He's great.
who wrote and directed the movie. We had the guy who played the main character, I forget his name.
Chris Sarandon, or are you talking about William Ragsdale?
Williams Ragsdale. We had the guy who was the vampire's keeper, the goon, I forget his name. And we had the chick from Married with Children.
Right, Amanda Burks.
So, I mean, we have 4 of the major people from that movie.
By the way, she always likes being referred to as the chick from Married with Children.
Well, I was going to call her the chicken from Married with Children.
Yeah, we met her before. She's nice.
She's very nice.
She's
great. We met Sarandon, too.
She's very funny. Chris Sarandon,
yes.
Chris Sarandon has a couple, Chris Sarandon has 2 or 3 Touchstone movies. He has, he has Fright Night.
Yeah, but Herman's Head.
The Sentinel, Child's Play.
The Sentinel and Child's Play, yes.
Herman's Head is actually a reference to the monsters.
How about this one? Jerry just said it. Dead and Loving, Leslie Nielsen vampire flick, and Bancroft is in it too. Yeah, Dracula Dead and Loving is okay.
I've never seen that one.
It's okay. It's right. It was right at the cusp end of the Naked Gun franchise, and Mel Brooks was making vampire
Leslie
movies.
Nielsen actually had a house over here, and he was spotted at the mall a lot.
I met him before.
Lizzie Kitty Merrick's vampires are not supposed to sparkle. I disagree. Have you seen The Hunger? Because Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie sparkle. Just
how about Martin?
Martin's a great one.
I featured that on the show before.
The Hunger's a great one. The Hunger's
Martin. That's Romero.
Susan Sarandon, David Bowie. Hunger's fantastic.
What's the one with the space vampires? The chicks.
Life Force. One
Life
chick.
Force, great movie.
One chick, not Amanda Burst.
I met Steve Railsback too. He was in that.
Life Force is a great movie, but you have to try to find the European version, which is almost 2 hours long, and it's a little bit the story pieces together a little bit better. But this is one of the ones I was thinking about also. This is the one for
Hotel
our
Transylvania.
generation.
That's not Hotel Transylvania.
No, it's not. Lost Boys is one of the ones that everybody from our generation tends to.
Saturday the 14th.
Subspecies.
Subspecies was
1
good
through
too.
4. Yeah.
I had that box set here somewhere.
Just vampire. Anne Rice, you say vampire seems hard like dying in her eyes are like fuck Myers. Okay. He hates the writer of Twilight. I'll have to check that out. The Hunger, yeah, Lizzie Kitty Merrick's. The Hunger is it's pretty. It's a lot of nudity. Just be forewarned. It definitely
That was
doesn't
Life
take
Force.
so a lot of nudity in Life Force too. But
So-
The Hunger takes the concept that vampires are supposed to be sexy, not necessarily sparkly. But
So
The Hunger.
wait a minute. Is Missy saying that Kyle's a lost boy? What is she implying?
Exactly.
I mean, I can easily see
exactly
him
what
on
she's
the
They're only
implying.
noodles, Kyle.
Yeah, they're only noodles. El Conde. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
El
it.
Conde is foreign on Netflix. Also, if we're going foreign, you can't really go wrong with a movie called Kronos.
Kronos, I have that
Oh.
here too.
Kronos
That has
is
Hellboy in it.
yes,
Yeah,
it does.
Kronos.
Like this is why I'm devoted to vampire flicks.
Man,
Yeah,
I
but
forget.
the thing
There's
is,
so many.
vampire flicks are hard. Like they're hard to actually generate if you're not going like classic vampire flicks, right? Like you're not going Nosferatu, Dracula.
Yeah, but I mean, like Tarantino.
Yeah, I mean, well, Tarantino, he wrote
True.
Rodriguez and Tarantino.
From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Right.
That's another decent one. But bringing vampires to the forefront in a present time isn't always successful. And so, if Sinners is as good as everybody thinks it is, this will be a big vampire movie for this year, which is kind of cool.
I haven't
Lair of
seen
the
that
White
one in
Worm
years.
definitely counts.
I would say
Hey.
so.
That
Lair of
chick
the
had
White Worm.
fangs like that.
Yeah, Lair of the White Worm definitely counts.
I think I have that here too somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, but vampire flicks are hard to do. So it's, getting them right. Let the right one in, I think, is the one for me currently that was made in the last 20 years. That's well past being a great movie. It's a very good version. And I would even venture to say that the American version isn't bad. It's just not as good as the.
They just recently made a TV series too.
Put the right one in? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it
I
was
think
10
we got to
episodes.
write down all of these vampire movies and do like a March Madness bracket type thing to find out.
Vampire? Yeah, so you want what? Lost Boys versus Fright Night? You want to do a bracket?
You could do brackets like with all these movies and just we like start it somewhere
What do we call
in
it?
the beginning of September.
Sinners April Madness?
I would pick
No, I
Fright
was saying
Night
we
over the
started in
Lost Boys,
September.
personally.
Center September and it ends right around October.
Hey, Jim, next time you get high with Savini, please invite me.
Okay, that makes sense.
I met
but,
him a few
I mean,
times too.
I'm not saying I partake, but I would definitely like to just meet Tom Savini.
Get high with Savini?
Yeah,
I would love to get high with
that'd be
Savini.
fun.
And talk
Even if I
about
didn't
Night
smoke.
Riders.
I don't smoke that much, but I'd
Talk
love
about
to
Night
get.
Riders. Well, it's like I don't smoke much, but
We turn it up for you, Kyle.
Or the Ripper.
420.
Remember when he played the Ripper?
The Ripper
You're
was
so
Yeah.
wild.
Savini's
The sex
pretty much-
thing with his dick pistol. What the hell was he
The
called?
Prowler's one of my favorites of his, though.
One mouse when it's monster season.
It's like that.
Classic season. It's not receiving vampire. I love vampire. I'm on vacation. Okay. There's no season for when good movies can come out, Missy. We've talked about this and talked about this. It's a good movie. Well, I don't know if it's Season of the Abyss, but I just want good movies. And if Sinners is going to be a good movie, then
Uncle Harm,
who's to say
that's
what
awesome,
season it
Is it
Jim.
in the Abyss Slayer tune?
Slayer.
and an invite. And one
JW
invite.
doesn't look like the Slayer type.
I'm not. I'm more. I was more.
Are we
Pearl
are we going to Hershey Park, Jerry?
Right?
Is that another
playing.
hand gesture? Just
Okay, wait, hold
reference?
on. This is a good one. JW and I seem to disagree every year. There's a season for specific genres. Yes, anything can be released at any time. We've had this discussion.
Well, Christmas movies on Christmas, Easter
Christmas
movies
movies get
on
released
Easter.
at Christmas, but the idea that there's a specific time to release vampire movies
Summer blockbusters in the summer?
in the summer.
I would take a horror movie anytime during the year.
Yeah. There is no
Even-
release schedule.
Yeah, on Easter,
I
Valentine's Day. My wife and I rented the Hillside Strangler on one Valentine's Day years ago. The one with C. Thomas Howell, and it's pretty raw.
Did you get to see Hard Eyes yet?
I did see that.
Did you like it?
We talked about it. Yeah, it was all right. I didn't
thought it
mind
was
it. Some interesting stuff. The tire iron was cool.
Yeah, that was a very good kill. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes. Oh yeah, Cosmo's just getting into us now. Yeah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. So is Batman Begins. So is Gremlins. You can take a specific movie.
But Mallrats is not an Easter movie.
That the audience accepts. So, Missy, you're saying that the audience isn't going to accept Sinners because it's not vampire season?
When is that though?
Rabbit season.
Duck season.
Duck season.
Rabbit season.
Duck season.
Tariff season.
Listen,
Rabbit,
vampires that don't want
Season.
vampires with a moral code
all the time
will
going
eat rabbits.
it's
They
all
will
the
suck
time.
the blood out of rabbits and
But
rabbits.
I don't understand what Missy's saying. Missy's saying that we can only have specific movies in specific seasons. That makes no sense.
Well,
Horror
not
movies get
with the
released at
vampire
all
movie,
times on the schedule.
Ooh, what about the show Forever Night?
Oh, that wasn't a bad show. That was an okay show. That was syndicated though. I'm not saying that they're going to accept it, but there's always rotation.
She's not saying that this is season. She's saying that it seems like Hollywood goes on runs of like, okay, we're all vampires now. Now we're all werewolves. Now we're all.
We're not though. We just had a bunch of werewolf movies, so I don't
Exactly.
That was a good show too.
I don't.
We had a bunch of werewolf ones. So
Right,
do
we
you
had a
think it's
bunch of
changing now to more?
They didn't do well.
Or
Like,
Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
They didn't. And also, I
was a
need
good
to
one.
point out that
Or Wolfen.
this movie's coming out, and even though it's a vampire movie, it's more a Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan movie.
What's it slated to make?
They're predicting 40, but I think it's going to hit 50 or 60. That would be my guess. The reviews coming out are too. Hollywood has been dictating what we should accept when it comes out, whatever they want to do, Miss.
Like that crap of the Addams Family.
I've been telling you for years, and you get hung up on these movies can come out at a certain time, and this is one of those things we've always talked about. It's not movies can open at any time on the schedule now. It makes no sense to open all your horror movies in October. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
It makes no sense to, it's spreading things around. And horror films, by the way, are the one thing that are allowed to come out at any given point. We've had a werewolf movie, a slasher movie. We've had all these already this year. So, horror films are few films that are actually almost critic-proof and audience-proof. They will consume horror films.
Mom and Dad, can you stop fighting, please?
But it's not something we should question. Movies come out whenever they come out. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not like they're not going, hey, we just had a bunch of werewolf. What can happen, and we were talking about it earlier, what can happen is Hollywood gets a trend and they decide that, there's 3 movies that are all of a sudden a volcano. Right?
This one made it. Let's all make one like this now.
Right. Or, Minecraft hit, maybe we can try to do a Roblox.
But aren't they constantly rescheduling movies so they don't compete with other movies and yada, yada, yada? And...
Sure, we can question it, but what are you going to, who are you questioning? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand like the idea that they have to release a vampire movie at a certain time of the year.
Oh, you know what another good one is?
It's
Vamp.
not. I don't think it's a certain time of year.
Vamp's
I think it's they come out in
Wow.
blocks. Like
They come
how
out
you
just
got
And
blocks of like
they remade
asteroid
that.
Grace
movies that are going to
Jones.
destroy the
right.
world,
No,
and then
we're saying
weather
that
weather
happens,
phenomena are going to destroy.
right? That happens naturally. That
And it
doesn't
seems like
happen.
it cycles around. It's funny how it
It
happens.
doesn't
though.
cycle. It doesn't. I don't think it cycles.
Are
up,
we
so.
are we exiting the werewolf system because it failed and entering into
No, 'cause
another
we're gonna get a
boon
werewolf
of
movie next
vampires?
year from the Nosferatu guy. So no, like that's what I'm trying to say. There is no rhyme or reason to it. Things hit or things don't. Yes, there you go. Well done, Raven. Thank you. I have one of the new Superman shirts. I have this Superman. I don't know. I don't know how that works, Jasper. Ask a vampire. But basically, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there are trends, and Jerry and I and Kyle and everybody, we've all talked about it, where Hollywood gets the sense of what people might want to see, like Volcano and Dante's Peak, or Armageddon, and what was the other
Deep Impact.
Deep
Deep
Impact,
Impact.
right? The acting stylings of Tia Leone. Yeah, so
And the day after tomorrow.
yes, it happens, but it doesn't. It's not something where they go, well, these are going to be all the vampire movies coming out, and these are going to be all the werewolf movies coming out.
Yeah, it's like a trend. They
It just happens where they like
capitalize on
they're
trends.
working on a Wolfman. Well, we should have a werewolf movie too.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would say about Sinners is there's nothing like Sinners. Sinners is a young director, a young, very
Well, you'll find out Thursday.
yeah, but a young up and coming director who's had nothing but hits. Like if you look at his movies, he's had the Creed films, he's had the Black Panther movies, he's had Fruitvale Station. He's a good director, right? And he's making this vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan.
I don't know what that means. She needs to be squeezed.
Squeeze
What
the
does-
Sherman.
What does the lemon
I don't know
mean?
what I don't know what feeling like a lemon means.
Sour?
Sour, maybe? Trying to make lemonade out of lemons? I don't know. I just know that I don't think there's no rhyme or reason to horror films. Horror films come out when they want to, like, horror films are coming out fast and furious. And what you have every once in a while is you'll have a horror film start dominating a certain, like October, like what happened with Saw, right? They had a Saw movie every year for like 6 years. And nothing else got released in October because of it. Right? So that can happen.
What was he? He was in one of the Clint Eastwood movies.
What? That's a non sequitur to non. He was in a Clint Eastwood movie.
No, I'm Tobin Bell. He was in one of the, like, the Enforcer or something.
Yes.
Oh,
Wasn't he? He was in Magnum Force.
Magnum Force.
Wasn't he one of the
That's it.
terrorists in Magnum Force? Hold on, I'll check for you.
I don't know. It just hit my brain.
I think horror films are the only genre left that you can release at any time, and horror films are going to make money. You know what I mean? Like, so and they're trying to make money with this one. He was not in any of them.
He was in something.
In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. I knew it was Clint Eastwood.
In the Line of Fire. He's been in a lot of stuff though, like background stuff. But you know, of course, the star of Saw is Tobin Bell. Okay, Jerry, let's go. What's coming out of your basement this week? What do you got, my friend?
This week,
does it involve hands?
No.
The hand would have been
Idle hands.
Idle hands would have been interesting. It came from Jerry's basement. What's coming from Jerry's basement this week?
This week, we have Summer Camp Nightmare.
Summer Camp Nightmare.
Starring Chuck Connors, the rifleman himself.
Dear Mom, the camp director is dead. The counselors are hooking up, and the kids are out of control,
It's
having a wonderful time.
Chuck
it's
Connors
like
is in,
a Lord of the Flies at a summer camp. Chuck Connors is
Yeah,
the camp
It was-
leader, and he's
made in
wasn't he
1987.
branded?
the kids take over.
Yeah, 1987. This movie.
Everything goes nuts from there.
Where can they find this wild?
This
you
is
know-
on YouTube.
This is on YouTube.
So wait a minute, wasn't Chuck Connors? Wasn't he in Branded? Was that
I
Chuck
don't know, but
Connors?
he was the rifleman. The
Chuck
old TV
Connors
show.
Branded?
Branded?
When was branded, my friend?
60s, 50s, 60s?
Branded. Hold on.
What
Yes.
do you do when you're branded?
Yes, you're
when
correct.
You know you're a man.
I
He was
just looked
also
it up.
in the show Werewolf, which was
I just-
amazing.
Branded.
There you
That's
go.
a picture of him right there.
So,
Yeah.
and he was in the
We
show
used to watch The
Werewolf, which
Rifleman
had to
all
be
the
before
time.
that.
It's
So
a
this came out after
1987
Werewolf.
movie. Yeah, it's a 1987 movie. And basically it's just this crazy kind of Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Flies, like Jerry was saying. And they basically take over the camp. A bunch of people get killed. It gets weird. There's an element to it that's a little bit of like broadcasting the revolution live kind of thing. Which is something that was going on in the late 80s. So that's cool.
So now I'm starting to understand this. Since I pay for StreamYard as well, I have all my superpowers over here. Okay, that's weird. All right.
You
I
have
like
your
it, though.
superpowers?
Yeah, I mean, I could make Jerry full screen, and I can add pictures or anything I want to
Kyle's
do.
thinking like, what can I do? Look at Kyle.
So
The Kyle face was like, what can I do?
I already knew that. I already knew I could make Jerry full screen.
So this
I know I
movie,
can make myself disappear when you start talking about Twilight Zone.
this movie was called The Butterfly Revolution, but they named it Summer
Yes.
Camp Nightmare to be trendy to try to get people to watch it
Yes.
because of the camp horror films like Friday the 13th.
Yeah. The novel is based on by William Butler.
No, let's remember,
But it's not a
in
horror
March.
film.
Easter's in March sometimes.
Yeah. No. There's only one turtle that's really into April though. That's the other thing. Not all the turtles are into April. Just one. Okay. Time for Twilight Zone Redux.
Oh, look at the time.
Oh, look at the time. And now Joe's going to go too. Look at that. You have perfect opportunity to watch the
Come
episode.
on. Are you serious?
Yeah, really? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
All
Episode.
your favorite stuff came from these, Joe.
Yes, yes.
Marijuana came from these?
I'm sure it did. There's an episode coming up,
I
I'm
am
sure.
not a pothead, but thank you for playing. I'm more of a lush than I am a pothead, but hey.
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, I feel like that's splitting addiction.
Hairs?
No addiction.
Don't pick on my vices. I don't pick on your vices.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you already have.
We do kind of. I mean, we talked
Yes, you
about
have. Yeah. you
hands and white chocolate. So
Okay, so it is 22 is the name of the episode. Episode 53 of the show. It is episode 17, season 2, opening narration. This is Miss Liz Powell. She's a professional dancer, and she's in the hospital as a result of overwork and nervous fatigue. And at this moment, we have just finished walking with her in a nightmare. In a moment, she'll wake up and remain at her side. The problem here is that both Miss Powell and you will reach a point where it might be difficult to decide which is reality and which is a nightmare. A problem uncommon, perhaps, but rather peculiar to the Twilight Zone. So it's this episode where this woman is in the hospital. She's having lighting a candle, and there's Rod Serling. This is also one of the episodes that appears to be shot on video recorder, so it's a little bit.
Yep.
It's really fuzzy. And basically, she's in the hospital. She's not just a dancer. It gets let out during the middle of the episode. She's a stripper, which is amazing for the 60s.
I love Dr. Smith in this one.
Oh yeah, Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. He's also a doctor here, and he's also dark. And
Just the way he talks to her.
the
It's
way he
funny.
fucking talks is weird. But basically, she has the same nightmare every night at the exact same time. She wakes up, she grabs a glass off her nightstand table in the hospital, pushes the glass off it, walks to the glass, goes to the end of the floor, gets on the elevator, goes down to the bottom, and there's a woman standing at the morgue doors who opens the doors and says, "We have room for one more." And
we have room for one more, honey.
One more, honey. And over the morgue entrance is the number 22. She has the dream the first night. The second day, the doctor says, "Well, maybe you can change things in the nightmare. I assure you it's a nightmare because the nurse you're describing doesn't work here at the hospital. So change the nightmare. When you go to reach for the glass, don't reach for the glass. Reach for something else, maybe your cigarettes." By the way, cigarettes, super cool to smoke in a hospital in the 60s and allowed here perfectly for her nerves. Anyway, so the second night nightmare, she reaches and stops, picks up a cigarette, lights a cigarette, and as she's putting her lighter on the table, the lighter drops. She goes to get the lighter, knocks the glass off, and starts the whole train again. Goes down the hallway, gets in the elevator, goes to the morgue doors, the lady's there, room for one more, honey. She runs back. The doctor doesn't know, but they sedate her, and then it cuts to 2 weeks later. And she's there, and, so she's...
Gets out of the hospital.
First off, she's the doll that right there that she's holding is the creepiest fucking clown doll. I don't know anybody that has a creepy clown doll that doesn't have nightmares like this. The doll is so fucking creepy that when she turns it, I was like, oh, like it's no wonder she has fucking nightmares. But that's 22. That's the lady with the morgue, and so she eventually gets out. Dr. Smith, talks her off the roof. She's basically getting ready to go. She's having a nervous breakdown, but maybe she's not. She gets better, and they finally gets to the day where she's checking out of the hospital. She's getting ready to fly to Miami. Also a creepy doll.
Is that a Harlequin doll?
Jesus fucking
The clown
Christ.
doll. This is old school.
A creepy clown doll for Jerry. But so she checks out of the hospital. Her manager picks her up. They're flying to Miami. She's checking in at the desk. And the guy's like, here's your ticket for flight 22 headed to Miami. And she starts like she's like,
should I or shouldn't I?
She twitches for a second, and then she walks over and starts looking at the gate. And as she turns around, she knocks something out of a woman's hand that smashes on the ground, reminiscent of the glass. She gets to the door, doesn't know, gets out, walks, checks in, walks up the runway, gets to the top of the stairs, and standing there is the woman from the morgue who says, room for one more, honey. And she basically has a nervous breakdown on the flight path and runs out and runs away, and the plane takes off, and she's watching with all these people are around her because she's having a nervous breakdown. And as she's watching out the window, the most realistic airplane explosion on screen in the 60s probably you've ever seen happens, and the entire fucking airplane explodes. So she wasn't supposed to get on the plane, and it's just this really great episode. Closing narration. Miss Elizabeth Powell, professional dancer, hospital diagnosis, acute anxiety brought on by overwork and fatigue. Prognosis will rest in care. With rest in care, she'll probably recover, but the cure some nightmares is not to be found in known medical journals. You look for it under potions for bad dreams, to be found in the Twilight Zone. Interesting thing, there's an episode written by Rod Serling, right? It doesn't have a lot of characters in it, but it's based on a story from 1906, and basically he brought it forward, and then he also copied a movie from 1944 called Dead of Night, and this is one of those episodes that is pure Rod Serling, but also it's dark and scary without actually being overtly scary. Final Destination before Final Destination.
Pretty much.
Yes. I was thinking of other things where people have there's the Nicolas Cage movie where he can see everything before it happens.
Happening, right?
Is no, not the Happening. The Happening, that's
or the Knowing, right? Knowing.
And then the other one I was thinking of was the Dead Zone, right? This
Mhm.
is pre Stephen
That's a great
King
movie.
Dead Zone. So it's all of those things tied into one little bow. And if you see it before it like you're watching it and she's clearly having a nervous breakdown, but it's just really interesting storytelling. Same dream. You could also get into any dream movie if you want because they meticulously recreate the dream for 2 different times during the episode. Right down to the point where the timing of the 3rd time when she's walking through the airport is exactly timed up with the other 2 dreams. So it's a meticulously written episode of the Twilight Zone. It's not the best, but it's interesting and it clearly predates a lot of stuff that we've seen.
Well, let's test Jerry's music trivia real fast from the 80s.
Uh-oh.
Who sang that?
Oh, Oingo Boingo. Simple.
What was
Weird
it?
Science too.
And what did Oingo Boingo go on to become?
Danny Elfman, one of the greatest music composers of all time.
Dead Man's Party was in Back to School.
Back to School. It's exactly what I was going to say. Oingo Boingo plays the party that Rodney Dangerfield throws.
They also had a song in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes, it plays on the radio.
Yes.
Next episode, one of the classic episodes, not a super classic, but a pretty good one, called The Odyssey of Flight 33. So episode 18.
I think I saw that one before, but
I think I've seen this one too. But that's next week on Twilight Zone Redux, which is perfect. Let's see. Also coming up on the network this week, our good friend Gabe is coming back. Symbolistic.
Did you read that IM that I sent you?
Apparently not. Should I not have? Lauren Elenia coming up on April 16th. I'm not going to do the other one. I'm just going to do this one.
Yeah, if you would have seen the IM, that was postponed until May.
Was it really?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so May coming up. Lauren Elenia for May. Sorry, I didn't see that one.
It was the same sentence where I put Robert stuff over.
Well, May is in like 2 weeks anyway.
Now he's going to read it.
Yeah, now I'm going to read it because now I feel bad now. But anyway.
Because coming up on Thursday, Robert Bass hosting his show with special guest Robert Bass.
Yes. So Robert Bass there's another Robert Bass. There's 2 of them?
No. I had to put something on the show card.
One has a gray beard, one has a darker one.
You know what he should do? He should set up like a mirror.
I think Robert Bass should host Robert Bass because that ties him with Sinners. Because Michael B. Jordan is playing dual brothers.
He should put a mirror there and be
that
like,
would work.
"Hey, what's up?"
Sinners tie-in. The good Sinners tie-in, Joe. But yeah, we appreciate watching all our shows on the network.
Robert
Jerry,
Bass is.
What do you got coming up, Jerry?
Hey, where's the show card?
May 3rd, V Spot.
Jesus. I don't have it.
May 24th,
I'll do
we're
it.
playing up at the North Scranton Vikings football field for a benefit show.
Where is it?
There you go.
Oh, wait, hold on. Robert Bass is hosting Robert Bass. Do you actually want that show card? Do you really want that show card up?
I'm the one who just uploaded it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the show card. Well, the title of the show is actually the Indie Escape Note Presents World Class Talent Robert Bass, and the episode's based on his show that was just in Tennessee on Saturday. So that's why.
You should have a special guest, an inflatable doll in the background. That would
She's a mannequin, not an inflatable doll.
Please, she's a person. Jerry, what do you got coming up, and where can people find you?
She's stiff.
May 3rd, V Spot. May 24th, North Scranton Vikings football field.
Okay.
July 19th, V Spot.
Did you say Vikings football field?
Yeah, North Scranton Vikings.
Oh, North
Scranton. There's a few areas.
It's right up alongside. It's right up alongside the expressway.
He's explaining it to Joe. It's right.
I know. I was like, you would know.
Expressway. I would know where it is. I know where it is. Kyle, what about you? What do you got going on? What sweet translucent dreams got going on?
May 17th in Matamoros at the flagship. June 14th in Emmaus. August 16th at the Fair Oaks Drive-In. And there's going to be a September date in Scranton.
Wasn't there
Pennsylvania.
something like last year on the show we're talking about your retirement?
Yeah, go
I
fuck
kind
off.
of recalled that.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And they keep
Jeez.
dragging them back in.
Pulling him
You
back
can
in.
leave it, but it
Like
never
fucking-
leaves you. I tell guitar
Pacino
players that all
Pacino
the
and the
time.
Godfather. Okay. We'll see everybody next week on Loud
Well,
Nerdy.
where can they find you, JW?
Well, they can
Yeah.
Hey,
find
what
the
about
JW
me?
Movie Guy on.
And
Well, Joe, what
Joe?
about you, Joe? Where can people find you? What are you producing this week? Anything?
Robert Bass Show on Thursday. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go to our social medias, hit the like and
I got stuff
subscribe
too.
button.
Yeah, I got stuff too.
You got okay. All right. If you
Yeah,
like
like
this
and subscribe.
content,
Yeah.
please subscribe to the Indie Escape Network YouTube channel and the Facebook page. And we have a bunch of other pages that you should like and subscribe
And there's
to.
all kinds of shorts
Oh.
out there.
Yeah,
On
there's all kinds of
Instagram.
There's a
stuff.
ton of shorts.
And they're doing well. They're
They're
doing, very well. Also, we'll talk a little bit more about next week about the end of Daredevil tonight. Next week, first off,
you,
you find me JW the Movie Guy on all your platforms. JW the Movie Guy on
That reminds me.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, all of them, and Instagram. You can also find me on Monday nights doing Generation Movie with Rich. Next week, we start our deep dive into the Mission Impossible franchise.
Damn.
I used to watch that show.
So we're gonna do all the Mission Impossible movies leading up to the last possible Mission Impossible movie in May. Joe, what do you got?
You guys watch the show, right?
Yeah, I forgot.
I love this show.
Robert, I'm gonna make this announcement now. I'm gonna have to borrow the right hand of your mannequin. I've got a plan.
That ties in with everything that happened in the show. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Love
see
it when a
everybody
plan
next
comes
week.
together.
I like when a plan comes together. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you for watching.
Can't
Indie
wait to
Escape
see
Network.
the AI generated.
Have
Cannot
a
wait to
great
see
night.
the AI generated
I need to
captions.
borrow your hand, Robert.